in an auditorium shows Jan Hooks in a blonde wig behind a table who says, "Hello, I'm Megyn Kelly, and welcome to Fox News' first 2024 GOP primary debate." On a stage across from Hooks shows several contestants standing behind podiums. Hooks. Participating in the debate in alphabetical order are Ron DeSantis, shows John Belushi as Ron DeSantis, who says, "Thank you, Megyn. I'm the candidate who will make sure your kids only get their porn at home on their phones, not at school in their books." Hooks. Nikki Haley, shows Gilda Radner as Nikki Haley, who says, "Thank you, Megyn. I'm hoping I can pass for Latina with the Hispanic voters." Hooks. Mike Pence, shows Chris Farley as Pence, who says, "Did you guys hear? Pete Buttigieg is gay, and he took maternity leave like a girl. The Bible says he should fall like Sodom, both Hussein and that town full of butt humpers." Hooks. Vivek Ramaswamy, shows Gilbert Gottfried as Ramaswamy, who says, "It's pronounced failed Rothstein. I'm going to pretend I'm Jewish like George Santos." Hooks. And finally, the 46th President of the United States, Donald Trump, shows Phil Hartman as Trump, who says, "I don't even know why we're having this debate, quite frankly. I'm clearly the most qualified. Maybe the other four can have a little circle jerk to see who gets to be my VP. But this contest is already over. I'm the winner, just like I was in the last two presidential elections." Hooks. Okay, and we'll start with that issue right there. Governor DeSantis, do you think Donald Trump legitimately won the 2020 election? Belushi. Well, Megyn, I'm not going to answer that question because I don't want to alienate the 5 Republicans out there who don't think it was stolen. Hartman. See, Megyn, no backbone. That man is a coward. I don't even need him to win Florida a third time. Hooks. Mr. Trump, if you would please not interrupt and wait your turn. Hartman. Oh, come on, Megyn. You're biased against me. You've been against me ever since I first ran for president. Hooks. Like I said before, you've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Hartman. Like I said before, that was only Rosie O'Donnell. Hooks. It was more than just Rosie O'Donnell. Hartman. Fine, I may have called Hillary Clinton those names too. But that's the thing about women, Megyn. They want to be treated equally, and I agree with that. But part of being treated equally is having the Don call you names. Politics is big business. A lot of name calling, mudslinging. I'm sure you understand. Hooks. Anyway, speaking of women, Miss Haley? Hartman. Oh, come on, Nikki Haley. I'd eat her masala dosa for lunch. Hooks. Please, Mr. Trump, if you would stop interrupting. Miss Haley, if you could give us your opinion on the legitimacy of the 2020 election. Radner. Well, I'm a woman, first and foremost. I was the first woman governor of South Carolina. And I'm also of Indian descent. And in 2017, I became the first Indian American member of a presidential cabinet. Hooks. Okay, and the 2020 election. Radner. I stand by the substance of my response. Oh, also, I was formerly a congresswoman. Hooks. Very well. Vice President Pence, your thoughts on the 2020 election. Hartman. Oh, here we go. The VP that Dan Quayle could beat in a spelling bee. Hooks. Well, you picked him. Anyway, Vice President Pence? Farley. Well, I'll answer that question you asked about transsexuals by quoting one of my favorite Bible verses. Deuteronomy 23:1. No one whose testicles are crushed or whose male organ is cut off shall enter the assembly of the Lord. Hooks. Vice President Pence, I didn't ask a question about the trans community. The question is about the 2020 election. Farley. Was that the one Obama won? I get them all mixed up these days. In that case, though, I'll cite a more appropriate Bible passage. Deuteronomy 25:11-12. If two men are fighting and the wife of one of them comes to rescue her husband from his assailant, and she reaches out and seizes him by his private parts, you shall cut off her hand. Show her no pity. Hooks. Okay. we're going to move on to Mr. Ramaswamy. Hardman. Rhymes with pastrami. Hooks. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Mr. Ramaswamy, your thoughts on the 2020 election. Godfrey.
Well, look, I was watching the election like everybody else. And I'll say that many of those swing states...
Hooks. Okay, I apologize, Mr. Ramaswamy. My producers are telling me to ignore you from now on because of your grating voice and because your extremely ethnic name is scaring the primary voters. Mr. Trump. Hartman. I prefer Mr. President, Megan. Hooks. This is your chance to tell us what you think of the 2020 election. Hartman. Well, everyone knows it was stolen, Megan. Unfortunately, I can't get into details because, well, there aren't any. And dead from the earth, we're not alive. It's Saturday Not Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jen Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Denitra Vance, and with many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Al Jearreau, and your host, Chief Blackhawk. Everybody, Chief Blackhawk. Applause, applause, applause. Blackhawk. Thank you. In life, I was a Sauk leader and warrior. I earned my role as a leader not through heredity, but instead through my ability to lead raids through enemy territory and killing our enemies. My breakthrough raid came when I was 19 years old, when I was able to lead 200 men in a battle against the Osage, in which I personally killed 5 men and 1 woman. Blackhawk waits for applause. Eventually, applause, applause, applause. Blackhawk. During the War of 1812, I fought against the United States in hopes of pushing the white man out of our territory. Because in 1804, a treaty was signed without full tribal authorization that ceded our land in what is now Illinois and pushed us west of the Mississippi. Angered by the loss of my homeland, I led a band of over 1,000 of my people across the Mississippi and back into Illinois in what is now called the Blackhawk War. We were eventually defeated by the militias, and I was held prisoner and brought to Washington, D.C., and eventually imprisoned for a few weeks at Fortress Monroe before being brought back west of the Mississippi. My land was given to the white people in a shady deal in 1804. All of the land east of the Mississippi for $1,000 a year. We were not fairly compensated in this treaty. Norm MacDonald comes out. Tepid applause. MacDonald. How? Blackhawk stares at MacDonald. MacDonald. Well, Blackhawk, I, Norm MacDonald, want to apologize on behalf of white people everywhere for that terrible land deal signed in 1804. But hey, there's a bright side to the story. Blackhawk. What's that? MacDonald. The white people didn't enslave you, because we already had plenty of slaves from Africa. Blackhawk. Uh-huh. MacDonald. Yep. Awkward silence. Blackhawk. Anything else? MacDonald. No, not really. Just wanted to make the point that you weren't a slave. Blackhawk. Okay. MacDonald. Yep. So, hey, Blackhawk. Blackhawk. Yes. MacDonald. Did you ever get to meet that chick? I think she went by Pocahontas. Blackhawk. No. McDonald. Oh. My understanding was she was pretty cute, you know? Blackhawk. Uh-huh. Awkward silence. Blackhawk. Is there anything else? McDonald. So you're an Indian, right? Blackhawk. Yes. McDonald. Well, you ever run one of those casinos that those Indians have nowadays? Blackhawk. No. McDonald. Oh. Awkward silence. Blackhawk. Anything else? McDonald. Nope. That's all I got. Blackhawk. Okay. Folks, we have a great show tonight. Al Jearreau is here. So get ready to hear how we're in this love together. We'll be right back.